Distance nerding.
Hey! What's up, ladies and gentlemen? That's right. You are not in the wrong place. You are now experiencing distance nerding. Yes, I am your boy, Young Phil. He is the Jamez 5000.
And we're here to nerd together. Nailed it for the 276th time. Oh my gosh.
276 episodes at this point.
It's a lot of talking. All right, speaking of talking about anything pop culture, news, movies, food, music, wrestling, comics, Comic-Cons, whatever you're nerding out on, we want to talk about it.
That's right. Of course, if you're watching on YouTube, which you should be right now, hit that subscribe button. If you're listening on the podcast right now, listen on any podcast app, drop a 5-star review, guys. It really does help us out. It's something that we definitely need to help the algorithm think that you guys like us. Of course, you can watch us on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Threads, TikTok, all at Distance Nerding. Of course, ladies and gentlemen, if you want to rep that Distance Nerding life, we got merch. That's right, people. We got merch. So you can go to our website. It is www.streamlabs.com/distance-nerding/merch and get you some of that sweet, sweet merch. Well, ladies and gentlemen, now that all that is out of the way, let's jump right into this. You have now stumbled onto the worst kept secret on all of the internet. Ladies and gentlemen, you are now watching Distance Nerding. Still such a great intro. No notes.
Good.
Yeah, no notes whatsoever.
Well, unless you have seizures or something, then maybe some notes. That's fine.
If that's the case, I'm sorry, guys. We really do apologize for that. All right. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, Jamez, tell everybody what we've got on deck this week.
Marvel is about to make you cry. DC is about to make you cry. We're crying about how cute Grogu is, and Jared Leto is crying over feeling left out. Oh, Jared Leto.
Yeah, let him.
Jared.
Poor Jared. Well, with that being said, Jamez, tell everybody who is bringing them the show tonight. Tonight's sponsor, as well as what we got going on this weekend, because we might as well do that shout out now.
Yeah, check out Colossus Girl Entertainment fan-focused Comic-Cons across the West Coast, including Beaver State Comic-Con, which is coming up this very weekend up in Oregon, Metal Art Comic-Con, Animated for Tri-Cities Powerhouse, Silver Edge Comic-Con, and we just got back from Gem State Comic-Con. Comics, cosplay, vendors, artists, celebrity guests, and so much more. Visit ColossusGirlENT.com. Plan your next Comic-Con.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. This weekend is going to be a blast. I'm just going to throw this quickly out there for all my Big Trouble Little China fans. Our boy James Pax is going to be there. I'm so excited about that. Raiden himself, the Thunder God. Carla Perez is going to be there, friend of the show. We've talked to Carla a couple times, and I love every time we see her. And then, of course, Sindel from Mortal Kombat Annihilation. Now, given it's Mortal Kombat Annihilation, but she was kind of a standout performance in that movie.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
And dude, I don't know if you looked at her IMDb, but she's stacked. She's got all kinds of credits to her name.
She's been in all kinds of stuff. I mean, that's just the one that, like, they're throwing out there for nerds. But I mean, she's been in all kinds of stuff. If you're a movie nerd or if you're a TV nerd, she's been in all kinds of things.
Yeah, totally. It'll be fun.
It definitely will be. So let's jump into this, guys. Let's jump into the first news segment we got going for the night. We got to talk a little bit of Marvel. Guys, it's time straight from Jay Jonah.
Am I waiting for a soundbite?
No, I took the sound bites out because I know they were distracting you. So,
well, it's just the dead silence is distracting me now. Is that
yeah?
Okay. All right. Is Disney green with envy? She-Hulk attorney at law star Tatiana Maslany is finally talking about the possibility of stepping back into the MCU after publicly urging fans to boycott Disney. Ooh, okay, all right, we'll see how that goes. The situation kicked off in September when Disney temporarily suspended Jimmy Kimmel from comments Jimmy Kimmel made during the death of Charlie Kirk. The actress took to social media and encouraged fans to cancel subscriptions to Disney Plus, Hulu, and ESPN. Ugh. But during an interview, Maslany was asked if she'd ever reprise her role as She-Hulk. She said, "I love She-Hulk. I loved what attorney at law Jessica Gao did with her. I feel like it was a very loyal to the comics and all of that. If there was a space where it made sense for her to come back, I mean, I don't know anything, and I do think the internet will know before I do, but it sounds like she wants to come back as She-Hulk now." All right. All right.
That's good news. I mean, the internet has its opinion, and the internet is the internet, but the internet has its opinion. Do you know whose opinion matters more
Who's?
than the internet? The viewership on Disney Plus, because apparently Disney Plus has been getting massive spikes of people rewatching She-Hulk Attorney at Law, and the fact that people are coming back and watching the show is saying a lot more than the internet is, because the internet's sitting there talking about like, oh yeah, no, Tatiana Maslany, we hate her and we hated her performance. In reality, they're if they really did, hey guys, hate watching also, you know,
A view is a view.
a view is a view, right? So I mean, I personally I love the show. I thought it was smart. I thought it was really well done. All the people complaining about the twerking, shut up. I don't care about any of that. That was just
I
like
have the numbers right here. It did 1.5 million viewers during its first 4 days on streaming.
yeah,
Huge
exactly.
numbers. Huge.
It's massive, right?
Mhm.
By the way, I just got to throw it out there. Shout outs to DT Creates, our boy Darren, with the $2 super chat.
Oh, man.
Got some tacos for my sweet Asian enjoy.
That's one taco. That's one taco. Let's be sure, because times are rough these days. That's one taco. But we appreciate the one taco.
That's right.
Shout out to Darren. Good dude.
Shout out Darren for the super chat. We appreciate that.
So,
But
real quick, going back to the She-Hulk thing, Marvel fans already convinced she's coming back. I don't know about this one. Is she coming back in Doomsday or in Secret Wars? Because that's the next thing. People are saying like, oh, she'll be back like with the Hulks, like Scar and Hulk and her somehow in Secret Wars.
I think it makes a lot of sense. Now a lot of these actors have been really good about masking whether they're going to be in the show or not or anything like that. I think it makes sense to bring her in if you're going to do like like a backdoor into World War Hulk. They've been talking for a while that Disney's been planning on doing a World War Hulk movie. So given the Hulks that we have at this point, I think it would make sense to bring Tatiana Maslany into the fold. And again, as much as everybody actually enjoyed her character.
Yeah, I think the way they're setting up Doomsday and She-Hulk Doomsday and Secret Wars, I think they could sprinkle in a ton of characters that
Yeah.
that may not necessarily need to take center stage, but like they're just there, one or two lines in the background, but like they'll see if there's enough to push something else with them coming up. So, the rumor was that there was going to be some concept art of She-Hulk with Hulk and Scar in like medieval armor, something like that. Like maybe
Yeah.
they work for Doctor Doom or something. I don't know, but I think it could be a way to like bring them back slightly here and there, sprinkle them into the movies, see what sticks, and figure it out from there. Because there's a lot changing at Marvel TV, comics, movies. So we'll get to all that in a bit.
Right. We're going to talk about that a little bit more in depth later on. But yeah, I mean, like it makes a lot of sense. Now, some of that concept art came out a while back.
Right.
Were some leaks that came out from some of the stuff they were saying were happening on set and whatnot. So I mean, yeah, it's going to be interesting to kind of see what route they go in. I honestly think that it makes sense to bring her in. Again, she's really well played, really well acted character. I would mark out if I saw her show up on screen.
I know. I think that'd be cool. I think it could be a good way to add some Easter eggs to the movies is to give all these little characters just like a couple seconds of airtime and see what happens. You know.
Right.
Anyways, all right, let's keep it going. Is Spidey hiding more mutants? It's been heavily speculated. Stranger Things star Sadie Sink is going to be playing Jean Grey. I know there's been other rumors, but everybody has said Jean Grey, so more than likely it's going to be Jean Grey. But several online scoopers have dropped hints that she's not the only mutant that's going to be in Spider-Man Brand New Day,
Oh, snap.
which I didn't think about. I'm like, why wouldn't there be more mutants? That would make so much sense. So the hints is that Scott Summers, aka Cyclops, is possibly showing up in Brand New Day. There was a rumor that Harris Dickinson was being eyed for the role. Interesting. So do you think we're gonna get more mutants in Spider-Man Brand New Day, which swings into theaters on July 31st, 2026?
Man, if we see both Scott and Jean in this, I mean that would be great just because we're getting the MCU versions of the characters. Um, we already know that we're getting multiverse versions in Doomsday. So it's going to be interesting kind of to see how that goes and us getting these newer versions. I'm actually pretty excited for that.
Mm-hmm. That's what's interesting is, are they going to introduce new characters into the MCU from Spider-Man Brand New Day, but then kind of rehash it all in Doomsday? I don't. That would be kind of interesting if they would like sprinkle in a Jean Grey or Scott Summers, and then all of a sudden pull them back out, and then we focus on Doomsday.
Right. What up, Easy Money?
What up, everybody? All right, let's keep it going. Don't cry into the spicy mac and cheese. According to Scooper, My Time to Shine. Hello. Doomsday is expected to feature a heartfelt interaction between Steve Rogers and the new Black Widow, Yelena Belova, centered around Natasha Romanoff. Makes total
Oh
sense.
man.
But so Steve knew Natasha had a trusted partner. Steve knew Natasha as a trusted partner who studied behind him through some of the darkest moments in Avengers history. Yelena knew her as a sister, but then they both lost her again. So I guess there's going to be one scene where Steve and Yelena come together, and then they have a moment talking about Black Widow, talking about Natasha. I'm like, that might get me. That might get me crying.
Yeah, I think that's gonna get me. Just having that moment of just kind of because if you really think about it, there hasn't really been any actual moments for any of them to really grieve. They've been kind of like fighting it ever since they got back, and it just the two of them coming together and grieving over Natasha.
Yeah.
It's gonna be very emotional.
Yeah, and Thunderbolts too. It's like that was all about grief. That was all about dealing with emotions and how to cope, right? So having this sort of moment where you can reflect about a loss, I think is going to happen in Avengers Doomsday, because this is all about Marvel growing up and dealing with like real world things and emotions and issues. So I think this is going to happen. I think it's going to mean a lot, not just to like the story, but to the fans who have been along for this ride the entire time. So,
Yeah. No, again, I agree. I think it is going to be a payoff that all the fans have kind of been waiting for and been kind of wanting with this whole thing. It's 100% going to get me.
it's going to get me. I'm not crying. You're crying, but I'm also crying. All right. Avengers Doomsday hits theaters on December 18th, 2026. Okay.
All right.
This one's kind of a big one. So this is my last Marvel one, but this one's kind of big. So Marvel just made a pretty major move that could end up reshaping the future of its comics division, according to the Hollywood Reporter. Brad Winterbaum, the executive who has been steering Marvel television and animation over the last few years, has officially expanded his role. He's now being promoted to head of Marvel television animation, comics, and franchise, which means he'll oversee Marvel Comics. as a whole.
Right. So I heard about this a while back,
Uh-huh.
and I was just like, wow. So not only is Brad Winterbaum going to be running all the animation stuff and running TV and kind of just everything that's been going on. He's also going to be running Marvel Comics, so it's kind of like, does that mean we're going to be getting more cohesive kind of like storylines between everything, or are they going to be doing tie-in comics that tie into the MCU so they
Yes.
can kind of tell more stories and kind of bring more things in? It's going to be very interesting to see how they do, like, how they manage this whole multimedia uh just kind of juggernaut moving forward.
hmm It feels to me that the shift will be Marvel. What we know is Marvel. Like we knew Marvel as comics. Now we're starting to get to know Marvel as like TV and movies. I think like the definitive story of Marvel will be in TV and movies, and the comics will help kind of be part of that
Mhm.
versus two separate entities or like pulling inspiration from the comics. I think the Marvel TV and movies will kind of take over as the focal point, and comics will be like a supportive piece, which is interesting. It's a different shift. It's a different shift. So,
Absolutely.
let me see. There's been some movement. So, longtime publisher Dan Buckley is stepping aside after running with Marvel since back in 20 or 2003. Buckley has been with Marvel since the early 90s, meaning he's helped guide the company through multiple eras, publishing booms, movie explosions, and industry changes. So, what does this all mean? Right now, not much, but at least we'll see. I mean, I kind of feel like this is a good thing. My initial thought is like it's a good thing that Brad Winterbaum is gonna take this over and kind of spearhead it. So like the storylines start sinking. The way I think about it is like if Kevin Feige is like the George Lucas of things, Brad Winterbaum is like the Dave Filoni. You know, he's taking
Okay.
like the framework of what Kevin Feige is building and like expanding the stories and telling those stories in different medium. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense. I see the thread you're pulling, and I see what you're
Yeah.
doing here.
I mean, think about it. Under Brad Winterbaum, we've gotten X-Men 97, Daredevil Born Again, Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man, so like Wonder Man. So he's telling good stories.
Yeah, he
He's
absolutely is.
he's hitting what the fans want. So it'll be interesting to see how he puts his fingerprint on Marvel
Uh,
Comics.
yeah, yep.
Yep.
I mean, and again, I'm kind of excited to see, like, are we going to get tie-ins? Is that going to kind of introduce characters into the fold, so in that way you can just cast and backstories have already been told, so you can just kind of throw them into the movies and like, hey, if it's very comic booky where you're like, hey, if you want to know more about why this character is showing up, go read issue, number one of Spider-Man MCU or whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And I think the other side of the coin of this is, you know, I think Marvel is better known for TV and movies than DC is. But right now, DC is crushing the comics book game with the Absolute Universe.
Oh god, the Absolute Universe is perfection.
And honestly, like they looked at what Marvel was doing with the Ultimate Universe and was like, let's do it better, you know,
Mhm.
and they did, and it's working. So I think Marvel is going to start steering things in a way to be like, all right, we got to compete in the comic book medium. What do we need to do? Let's get somebody that can tell good stories. Let's get Brad Winterbaum in.
Right.
So, anyway, let us know what you think. How do you think Brad Winterbaum, as head of Marvel television, animation, comics, and franchise, will change Marvel Comics as we know it?
All right. Just real quick, I put a poll up in the chat asking, are you gonna cry when Steve and Yelena cry over Natasha?
Somebody said no.
Uh
Who said
yeah, I
no?
know. Someone did say no. Someone thinks they're too hard. So uh yes, the yes one. I'm gonna close the poll right now. The yes one, the yeses won it, 67 to 33%. So it sounds like a lot of us are gonna be crying when we see Yelena and Steve cry over Natasha. All right, well, ladies and gentlemen, that's it from Marvel on the Marvel side. So let's move on. It's time to watch the Watchtower. It's all the DC stuff. Watching the Watchtower.
Again, is there music? There's no music.
No, no
Okay.
music.
All
No
right.
music. None of that.
So
None
just
of that.
me awkwardly talking about music.
Right. It's mainly because you awkwardly are you would complain about the sound. Okay, the sound's getting in my way. The sound's there. No, I don't want the sound. So I took the sounds off. There we
Kind
go.
of missed the sound. Just gonna let
All
you
right.
know.
Well, we were just talking about crying with Steve Rogers and Yelena Belova, but now we're gonna cry with Kara's whole backstory.
Oh,
Some
yeah.
yeah, some newly released TikTok ads have offered fans a few cool new looks at the upcoming Supergirl film. The footage includes another scene featuring David Cornsweat's Superman giving Kara Zor-El her supersuit. As he hands it over, Superman tells her, "It's pretty colorful, but that's just so everyone knows we're good."
Okay.
Kind of, I mean, that's a very Clark thing to say.
Yeah.
There's also a brief glimpse of a younger Kara wearing a spacesuit, and another shot showing Kara Zor-El welcoming her to or Kal-El welcoming her to Earth and prepping her for her powers to kick in. Everything we've seen from Supergirl so far points toward a more heartfelt cosmic story that still embraces the hopeful energy fans want from these characters. So really the question is, and I'm going to put this in the chat here in a second, are you guys excited for Supergirl? Also,
I'm super excited for it. It's
also
like a
before
month
we,
away.
I know. Before we jump too much into it, again, Darren with another $2 super chat. Happy Taco Tuesday, Phil. Always happy Taco Tuesday.
So nice. Darren, you're awesome. That's one taco each.
Exactly.
Anybody got a soda? I'll take a soda. I'm just kidding. Yeah, I saw this. I don't know if you saw the clip or the TikTok ad, teaser, but it was pretty cool. There were some good action scenes in it, and it looks like it shows Kara like getting down and dirty the way Superman wouldn't, like the way
Right.
she was fighting people. I don't know if they're because they're aliens and she's just a little bit, you can get a little bit more rough and tumble with them, but she was kicking people in the face. I like it. It's like MMA up in here.
I know, right? Just a roundhouse kick. No, I am excited. I'm not just because we're getting Lobo in this and because it's following Woman of Tomorrow, but more so because it just seems like it's going to be a really good movie. And I know everybody's like complaining about like, oh yeah, it's got James Gunn's fingers all over it, but he didn't direct or write this movie. So I mean, like everybody's complaining about a film that he, like yeah, it's in his universe, but he didn't write or direct. So I mean, it's not really his film. Like I said, I'm very excited for it. I love the comic book that it's based on. I do want to see what differences they make or kind of like how they change things, just to kind of see how the story progresses and where it ends to see how that goes into Man of Tomorrow.
Yes, I agree. And going back to what you're saying about like James Gunn's fingerprints on it, like, okay. Like, did you see Guardians of the Galaxy? It was a great film. It looked cool. If Supergirl looks like Guardians, I'm in. I like it.
Yeah.
It does have kind of a weathered space look, like Guardians of the Galaxy, and I'm totally okay with that. Very, very lived in.
Darren said James' favorite actor is in it. It's because Jason Momoa is in it. It's the only reason James wants to watch it.
Chee-hoo.
Okay. So yeah. And again, I'm going to leave that poll up in the chat for a minute here, just so everybody can get a chance to put their votes in. In the meantime, I know that way we can kind of get a gauge on the audience here. In the meantime, Sebastian Stan as Harvey Dent, not so fast. A new rumor is throwing a wrench into that whole theory, and it could mean Matt Reeves has something much more interesting planned for Gotham's next villain. During a podcast appearance with John Rocha, Scooper Jeff Snyder shared a wild update that he admits should be approached carefully. I got an email this week. It was a fucking crazy email. It said that someone else is playing Harvey Dent, and it said that Sebastian Stan was playing another villain, and that Charles Dance is actually playing Scarlett Johansson's father. The fact that Reeves didn't confirm any of that, I wonder if there's some sort of bait and switch going on. Cue all the Batman fans into detective mode. Who do you guys think he's going to be?
That's what I was thinking. I'm like, okay, if it's not Harvey Dent, who could it be? Because everybody assumed that, what's his name? Charles Dance was going to be, who is it? Christopher Dent, his dad,
his father,
but
right?
yeah, like it would make sense. Blow it all up. Who else could he be? I mean, kind of young action. Hush, maybe.
That's exactly what I was thinking right now. I was like, there's the person that comes to mind for me. Just the thought of like any character who it could be, it's got to be Tommy Elliott. It's got to be Tommy Elliott because I mean, like, he's young, he's handsome. He could pull off that kind of like suave kind of look. I think if he's not Harvey Dent, Tommy Elliott makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, I could see that. Well, I mean, how does he compare in age to Robert Pattinson? You know what I mean? Because they kind of have to be the same age if it's going to be Hush and Tommy Elliott. But
or around, like they have to be at least a year.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
So okay, so let's look it up right here. Sebastian Stan is 43.
Okay. I bet Robert Pattinson's in his mid-30s, so I guess that would work.
Robert Pattinson is more around my age. He's in his late 30s.
Okay.
I think. And that's me guessing. I'm pulling it up right now. No, he's 40.
Oh, yeah. So that would actually work.
That actually works. It works out really well.
But, going back to what you were saying, it's always about like long Halloween that work with your long Halloween theory.
It kind of does. And I mean, Hush isn't part of Long Halloween, but I mean, like it makes a lot of sense because it's a character that everybody's wanted to see on like live action. And it's just the way they're kind of telling the story. Like if it's Dent again, I kind of want Calendar Man to show up at some point in this movie because he is the main villain and he is a horrifying villain if you put him in the context of the way Matt Reeves is telling the story. Like he's a serial killer. So I mean, like, he's got this whole grounded reality. It makes a lot of sense.
What if like we do all this speculation and it ends up being like Professor Pig or like Mad Hatter?
Professor Pig would be fine too.
Yeah.
I don't know if I want Sebastian Stan as Professor Pig.
I know.
Like Professor Pig is a psychopath, like a psychopath. Mad Hatter. I don't know.
It goes back to like those are both like real worldish villains.
Yeah, Jarvis Tetch is kind of scary, especially like in the age of AI. Because like Jarvis Tetch, the thing about that character is like he's in reality he does mind control, and he does like he has these essentially cards that he puts around your head and forces you to, like, he controls who you are and he makes you a character from Alice in Wonderland. So like what's crazy, like our Jarvis Tetch is scary because he is kind of like a delusional psychopath. God, Sebastian Stan could pull off a really good Jarvis Tetch though.
I don't think it's going to be one of the more popular rogues galleries, like who's it, like Mr. Freeze, who else is out there, Scarecrow's out there.
Gotta do Scarface. I want Scarface. I'm sorry. I would love to see Scarface. The only thing is that with Scarface, you can't get like a handsome dude to play to play the puppeteer. The Puppet Master, like the
Mhm.
Puppet Master needs to be like a kind of like, weird, average looking dude.
Yeah, yeah,
You know what I mean? And him being controlling this puppet who's just another, like kind of like the psychosis that he has. It's he's transferring it into this puppet, and this puppet is a crazy mobster killer.
yeah.
So, you know,
Honestly, though, what they did with Colin Farrell and the Penguin and the show that was spun off of Batman or the Batman, I feel like they could do anything they want and they'll find a way to make it work. Like when I heard that Colin Farrell was going to be the Penguin, I'm like, get out of here, no way. But then when you see him as the Penguin, it so works. It's perfect.
yeah. Oh, Eric got has a good one there. He said Russell Crowe should play the ventriloquist. Whew, that'd be good.
Okay, all
I
right.
think Russell Crowe would be really good as the ventriloquist.
But remember, Russell Crowe was kind of older these days. You
But
know,
I mean, the ventriloquist is not going to be a younger dude. The ventriloquist you want to be like an older guy.
yeah. There you go. There you go.
And we know Russell Crowe can play mobster. So I mean, like that's it would be him doing the voice on there. I think that would actually be really good.
You know, you said mobster, and I'm thinking like, what if he's like part of like one of the families? Like, what if he's like a Falcone or something like that? Ooh,
Well,
interesting.
they've already done Falcon.
Oh yeah, yeah, okay, okay.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean? Like another mobster. Who is it? There's the Falcons and the I forgot.
Trying to remember. It's the Falcons.
Honestly, I can't get the word Fratelli out of my brain for some reason.
No, it's not for Telly.
I don't know. Anyway, but you know what I mean? Like maybe he's some kind of mobster type guy.
Yeah.
We'll see.
By the way, I closed the poll. 67% of our audience, and double the votes were in this, but 67% of our audience is excited for Supergirl.
Oh, nice. There you go. There you go. All right. When does Batman come out?
Batman, Part 2 is currently set to hit theaters on October 1st of 2027. So next
All right.
year.
So year and a half. Year and a half.
Right. That's
We'll
right.
get more info before then.
Yeah, hopefully we'll see a whole hell of a lot more happening soon. But yeah, guys, that is it for our DC news. So before we move on to the next segment, let's talk about let's talk about another sponsor here, ladies and gentlemen. I hit it before I said it, but Dubby. Dubby is a brand of energy drinks created to help focus concentration reaction time with no jitters or crash. Dubby contains no maltodextrin, no sugars, no fillers, no artificial colors or dyes. Find out more about Dubby at www.dubby.gg. Use the code NERDING10 to get 10% off your order. Whew! It's a mouthful, and you should get a mouthful of Dubby. It's delicious. All right, guys. So, let's move on to the next segment here. It's time to get into the beginning of the news. Guys, it's time for some headlines.
All right. For more news, trailers, reactions, check out the Distance Nerdington post on Facebook and let us know what you're nerding out on. Let's dive into it. So, Universal's Halloween Horror Nights is sinking its teeth into one of the biggest horror hits of the year. Ryan Coogler's Sinners is officially getting its own haunted attraction at both Universal Orlando and Universal Studios Hollywood for Halloween Horror Nights 2026. That's actually kind of cool.
It's gonna be interesting to see what they do with that.
Yeah, so fans of the vampire thriller are going to be thrown directly into the nightmare where it's a haunted house transports guests to Club Juke, the unforgettable setting for the film where things spiral into chaos fast. So it's going to be a haunted house, like a walkthrough haunted house, but I bet it's going to be like all, happy dance club, type thing from the movie, but like the further you get in, it'll turn into Sinners. That'll be kind of fun. I kind of dig that.
I just want to see if they bring Smoke and Stack into this, and if they do bring in Smoke and Stack, are they bringing in are they hiring like the most handsome dudes they can find in the world to play Smoke and Stack?
Oh yeah.
Because that's it's kind of a hard one to follow up on right there. Can you get guys that are half as handsome as Michael B. Jordan?
Yeah. They'll figure it out. They'll figure it out. I I'm not a big horror guy, but doing something like this, like an experience at a Universal Halloween Horror Night, would be kind of cool.
Yeah, I think it would be fun overall. It'd be really fun to do.
Yeah. So Universal Orlando's event kicks off on August 28th, while Universal Studios Hollywood starts unleashing the horror on September 3rd.
Boom. There we go.
Boom. Would a choose your own adventure movie work? We are about to find out. Radio Silence's Matt Bettinelli Olpen, excuse me, and Tyler Gillette from Ready or Not are set to direct and produce a choose your own adventure movie for 20th Century Studios, based on the long-running interactive book series comprising of a series of nonlinear, replayable, user-directed stories in which readers are the hero who decide how the book ends. A release date has not yet been chosen. I read these. I don't know if you
So
read.
did I. So did I. I used to read these back in the day. I see this working one of two ways. One, it has to be streaming. This is not something you can do in a theater. Like it would have to be something you would have to stream. It would be along the lines of that Black Mirror episode where they had the choose your own adventure kind of thing,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
or it would have to work like Clue, like the Clue movie, where it's like, okay, we've done this. Now here's an alternate ending or an alternate way to go into this, and like changing of the scenes. I feel like that would be really hard to pull off in a theater. So the one that I see more likely is them putting it on a streaming service. So,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I think I may have missed it. Did we say what studio was producing this?
20th Century Studios.
So it's 20. Okay, so this would be something on like Disney Plus
Yeah. You
or
know
who?
what's funny is I did catch my kids. They were watching Netflix
Mhm.
on, and I was like some kind of kid show, but it did have that like, hey, get your remote, do this, do that, like choose a thing, and then it went down a certain path. I'm like, oh, okay, that's kind of different. I didn't think about it at the time until something like this popped up. So I'm like, oh, that'd be kind of interesting.
Yeah,
Do a
yeah.
choose your own adventure type movie or show. Yeah, a movie though. It's gonna be a movie. Interesting. I don't know, as like a user experience, like, and you go talk about this movie or project with other people. I don't know if this would work. You know, like individually, it may be fun to play and do things and kind of create your story the way you did it, but when you go talk about it, then it becomes like separate experiences. So I don't know how well that would do, but
I mean,
we'll see.
like the conversation on that would be which one did you choose?
Mhm.
Like, oh, well, how did you choose your story? What did you do? Oh, okay, yeah. Like, I feel like there would be a lot of buzz behind it. There would be a lot of kids talking about, like, which version that they chose, which one they did, right?
Mhm.
But again, like I said, I feel like it only works on streaming. I feel like there's no way to do this in a theater where it works correctly.
Yeah, we'll find out when it comes out. All right. Next one. China is playing cat and mouse with this film's release date. The US trailer has just been released for the China-made Tom and Jerry animated adventure film, Tom and Jerry Forbidden Compass. So interesting. The movie is written and directed by Chinese animation filmmaker Gang Zhang in his feature directorial debut. I had no idea China was taking over Tom and Jerry, but they
Yeah,
have, and they're putting stuff out. So the film was released in China last summer. Then it's made its way around the rest of the world. Now the compass will guide the film west. So Tom and Jerry Forbidden Compass will be in US theaters September 9th.
that's really interesting because it's like, okay, it's a US based cartoon
Yeah.
that was made in like that was a Chinese movie that was made. and it's like the U.S. is the last ones to get the film.
Yeah, as soon as I saw this, I'm like, Dave Zaslav, what did you do? What you sold Tom and Jerry to China? I'm like, I don't even know who owned Tom and Jerry before, but now China owns it.
I mean, it definitely sounds like a David Zaslav move.
Mm-hmm. I just thought it was so interesting that China's pumping out content, like U.S. content, U.S. IP, but giving it to China and the rest of the world first.
Right. Oh, snap. Tom and Jerry made in China.
Yeah, exactly. Totally. All right, I'm going to keep it going. All right, next one is Resurrection Reboot Part 2 updates.
Yes, finally.
Callback.
Someone call Thick.
Yeah. Call Aaron Thick. After years of rumors, updates, and waiting, Mel Gibson has finally pulled back the curtain on the Resurrection of the Christ, the long-anticipated follow-up to the Passion of the Christ. This time around, Jacko Otonin and Marilia Garriga step into the roles of Jesus and Mary Magdalene. Gibson announced that the project will now arrive as a 2-part release, and both films have shifted their dates. So, The Resurrection of the Christ, Part 1, again, this long title, is now set to open May 6, 2027. Part 2 has been delayed an entire year and is currently scheduled for May 25th, 2028. So that's pretty much like Memorial Day-ish for that second movie.
So the question on this is, do we believe that it is going to take that number 1 rated R film spot? Because remember, the first one was rated R. The first movie was rated R.
Okay.
Because of all the violence and everything that, everything that went towards Jesus. These movies, I mean, they're doing it in 2 parts, but there's not really that much violence in this section of the story.
In the reboot, yeah.
Yeah, when Jesus is rebooted.
Yeah, well, let's check the source material. You know what I mean? Like,
but that's what I'm saying is, like, if you look at the source material, there's not a lot of violence in this second part. So it may be PG-13. It may not be rated R because there's not very much going on where, it would need to be rated R.
Yeah, exactly.
Only reason the first one was rated R was because, I mean, Jesus got the shit kicked out of him walking carrying that cross. So
maybe Jesus goes like on a revenge tour. You know what I mean? Like he's in his revenge era. And
so it's like an 80s. It's like an 80s Mel Gibson movie, basically.
Yeah.
But with Jesus.
Yes. 80s action movie, but with Jesus. I got your cross for you here.
Arnold Schwarzenegger plays Pontius Pilate. He just comes in, he's smoking a cigar, and he's like, I thought you were dead. What are you doing here?
I put you on the cross 40 days ago.
Who took you down from the cross? Who told you could do that?
Please make some wine. We're out of wine. Okay.
I have this water. Need you to make wine. Do it now.
All right. We got to do some Hail Marys. Some Our Fathers after this.
Two Reformed Catholics being.
I know. The Catholic guilt is coming back. We can't keep making jokes. The Catholic guilt is.
We're about to get destroyed off the internet from all the other Catholics. All right, it's great.
I can hear my mom just in my. Do not say that about Jesus Christ.
Oh no, I feel like this is gonna be the one clip that makes it back to my mom, and she's gonna be pissed.
I know. Way to go. I'm gonna blame you. All right, repent your sins. Okay, let's keep going. Jason Bourne may be enough. Matt Damon is in negotiations to star in the upcoming film from Everything Everywhere All at Once duo, the Daniels, aka Daniel Kwan and Daniel Scheinert. So
Shiner?
this is the movie Ryan Gosling was circling, but then he had to drop out of because of scheduling conflicts. Now Matt Damon is like, I think he read the script and he said yes. So the way I read it was that he's gonna wrap the Odyssey like press and marketing, like in I forgot when, like early this summer. Then he's gonna have like a little bit of a break, and then right into shooting whatever movie this is. We don't even know what it is yet. It's like totally under wraps. So, um, but yeah, it's like he was gonna take months off, but then he was offered this role, and he's like, okay, yeah, I'm in. I'm in. So it's interesting. So, what does it say? Oh yeah, here we go. The plan is to shoot the film later this summer in Los Angeles. Damon will be done promoting the Odyssey, which is set to hit theaters July 18th. So yeah, he's gonna go straight from the Odyssey, like press junkets and marketing, straight into this new movie instead of taking like months off as he was scheduled to do. So it's like apparently this role is supposed to be a good role.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, when you have Ryan Gosling, that's like, I don't want to end this, but I mean, I also want to make a Star Wars movie. So, he chose Star Wars over this, but then now Matt Damon's taking that role. Like, this kind of says a lot about that script when you have two kind of like big actors like that are interested in this role.
Mm-hmm. Matt Damon's kind of hitting a new resurgence.
Oh, he's on that comeback tour right now. It's just,
Exactly.
yeah. I mean, this is like his second comeback tour. Matt Damon comes in like surges. So
Yeah.
like he will make like a bunch of hit movies and then just kind of disappear for a while, and then
Mhm.
make a bunch more hit movies and then just disappear for a while. And it's like,
Yeah.
he's a good actor. So I mean, yeah,
The resurrection reboot of Matt Damon is what this is, and we're just living in it.
exactly.
All right, here we go.
Oh, we got another super chat here.
Oh, shout out to Darren. Look at this guy. What
Darren,
is he saying?
super chat. All right. Have a beer, guys. Cheers. He gave us enough for some beers, man.
Oh, that's awesome. Look, we got tacos, we got beers. I don't know where we're getting $2 tacos and $2 beers, but I'm okay with it.
We'll find a place.
That's fine with me. All right,
Yeah.
let me keep it going. Shout out to Darren, good guy. Things are getting messy for Moblin. According to industry insider Matt Baloney's Puck newsletter, Tom Hardy has officially been fired from Paramount's hit gangster series ahead of season 3 after ongoing clashes with producers and creatives working on the show. Way to go, Tom Hardy. I don't know if you knew this, but I guess he's really difficult to work with. I guess
I've heard this.
he's very opinionated when it comes to like scenes, who he's in scenes with, dialogue, that sort of thing. He has a lot of opinions. Let's just say that. So, according to the rumor, Hardy was apparently late to set a bunch of times, constantly asking to give notes on scripts, attempted to change dialogue, and expressed his displeasure that a series initially built around him was increasingly becoming an ensemble showcase with Helen Mirren, Pierce Brosnan, and other co-stars. Dude, you got huge actors in this. Of course,
He's
they're gonna
fighting with Helen Mirren. Holy shit.
I know, of course you're gonna share screen time with Helen Mirren and Pierce Brosnan. They're draws. So I guess that tension reportedly escalated to the point where Butterworth threatened to walk away. I guess that's the director, to walk away from the series altogether. Paramount ultimately chose to move forward without Hardy instead. Interesting.
Wow. I mean, again, I've heard this in the past that he's difficult to work with. Uh, isn't Helen Mirren? Isn't she a dame?
I think so. I
so,
think so.
so she is the equivalent to a knight
Yeah.
in the British Order. So it's like, dude, you're fighting with Helen Mirren. You're
What do you
fighting with Dame Helen Mirren, dude. Like, no, stop.
Well, I honestly, what does that say? Is that like he wanted it about him? He wanted it to be his show, his character show, but getting somebody like Helen Mirren, Pierce Brosnan, giving them some shine, took some of that shine away from him.
Right.
Next thing you know, he's getting upset that he's not the center of attention. So, see you later, Tom Hardy. Maybe Venom's calling. Maybe there's Venom 4 in his future.
I doubt it right now. So
That is true. All right. Will more demons be slayed? Fans have been anxiously waiting for an update on Demon Slayer Infinity Castle's next chapter, and while there's still no release date locked in, Crunchyroll has finally offered a promising status update on the sequel. The first, you saw this one in theaters, right?
Yes.
Yeah, you like this one. So the first Infinity Castle movie slayed the box office to $781 million worldwide. Holy cow, that was huge. So, according to Raoun Peruni, the president and CEO of Crunchyroll, we can tell you that it is actively in production, the sequel. The studio wants to bring it to fans as quickly as possible. We just don't have a date yet. What we can say is that this is going to be a trilogy of movies that
Right.
will be the final arc of the Demon Slayer Infinity Castles. Infinity Castle is the first one. There's still two more to go. So we just went from one movie to three.
No, they said it from the beginning that they were doing a trilogy of movies because instead of doing the final season,
Mhm.
they decided, okay, well, we're gonna do 3 movies. I remember we reported on this a while back when they first announced this.
Ah,
But I mean, like, basically what they're saying is that they're finally in production for the second movie, which I assume they had already been in production for the second movie. But I mean, like, yeah, I am very excited for this. I love Demon Slayer. I think we've talked to a lot of different fans about this, about how I started off as somebody who, I was like, "What is this show? Like, why is everybody so into this?" And then I finally watched it, and I was like, "This show is amazing. It needs to fucking continue on and never be touched." And I mean, when I was a little upset when they announced that they were doing 3 movies instead of a final season, but when the first movie came out, I was like, "I'm not upset. I love this. This is good."
yeah. Some things can work better as like a
Mhm.
movie because it's a little bit more contained. So that's cool. Two more coming.
2 more coming, and I'm ready for it. My body is ready for it.
I'm ready for this next one. All right. How long do dragons need to sleep? House of the Dragon is still ending with season 4. A new update suggests the gap between the final 2 seasons might not drag on quite as much as other Game of Thrones shows. According to Deadline, season 4 will likely premiere in late 2027 or early 2028, leaving time on showrunner Ryan Condal's deal for him to develop and produce the new project for HBO. I guess HBO was like, "Hey, we want you," but he's like, "My contract is about to end." So I think they extended his contract
Mhm.
to I think the end of 2028. So I think it was 2029. So he could finish House of the Dragons is pretty much what it was.
Okay.
So um that's good that it's going to be a little bit less amount of time. Aren't they doing something with Dunk and Egg as well or
Yeah,
that
so they're basically doing the Hedge Knight, and they're doing because they're doing it like as like mini seasons,
right.
because it's going to cover one each novella is being covered in a season, and because they're novellas, they're not like super long, so you can knock those out pretty quickly, and because again they're low budget, you can knock them out pretty quickly. Um,
I think they
with
plan to do it like annually. Like it's going to be like a yearly show.
Right, right.
Okay.
There are, I think there's 11 novellas that Martin has announced. I think only 7 of them are out.
Mm, okay. Well, that's cool.
Mhm.
I like that Game of Thrones has a plan now. Like it's almost better than the main show Game of Thrones because at least now we have a little bit more structure on what's happening with these shows. So
Right.
I kind of dig it. House of Dragons season 3 premieres on HBO and Max June 21st. I didn't realize it was coming up so fast. That's nuts.
It's right around the corner. And guys, if you're not aware of this, the main character is a doctor,
There you go. Yeah.
Matt Smith, because Matt Smith
He
plays
was
one of the.
he was almost a brainiac too, but you know, he wants to go ride some dragons instead. That's fine.
It's fine. It's okay.
That's fine. All right. Next one. Oh, this is my last one.
Mhm.
Fox is officially diving back into the world of Baywatch. Yes. I think I do these stories only for me. This is like my third Baywatch story, and it's all for me. So I'm into it.
You know, The Rock's not in this one, right?
That's fine. I can go rewatch it. All right, an update came during a media event where Fox executives shared a new details about the highly anticipated revival, including a first look image that puts the spotlight on the next generation of lifeguards sprinting into action on the beach. The cast is aiming for a mix of traditional TV talent, and this is where we kind of caught this before, mix of a traditional TV talent and internet era star power. So they came out and said it. They're like, "Hey, we're gonna hire some people. They're not full on actors, but they have a huge following, so we'll get them in." So the network has confirmed the series will take the beach for a mid season debut in late January 2027.
Hmm. I know
Inter-
one of these kids is playing the Hoff's son.
yes, or I think daughter. There's a daughter. Like there's who was it? David Hasselhoff, and then Stephen Amell plays his son, and then Stephen Amell has a daughter that comes into play.
Okay, that's what it was. Stephen Amell is playing David Hasselhoff's
Yeah,
son,
Hobie.
Hobie.
I'm interested. I loved Baywatch back in the day. I don't know why I'm excited to watch this. I think I'm in my dad era, and I really enjoy episodic TV again. I'm into it.
You're just hoping Pam Anderson's going to show up,
Oh, she may. She may. Hey,
bouncing
she
around
was
the beach all
she
over
was
again.
great in Naked Gun. Let's
She was. But I'm
flowers.
just saying, you're just hoping she's going to be bouncing around the beach again.
Flowers. She gets flowers. All right, that was my last story.
All right. Well, before we get into the last segment of the night, Jamez, let's talk about this last sponsor that we got going on. Last but not least.
Distance Nerding is part of the Geek Freaks Network. Discover your latest binge, debate your casting choices, or still not over that plot twist. The Geek Freaks Network has got you covered. Your fandom, your community, your people, geek out your way. Check out the Geek Freaks Network at gfpods.com.
Boom. There we go. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's jump into our last segment. It's time to talk about the news. And it's time to talk about these headlines, guys.
I like it.
All right. 1 second here.
I mean, it could use a little bit of, a little bit of music, a little bit of something.
Just a little bit of music. Yeah, okay. Yeah. Scooby and Mystery Inc. Gang's next mystery tackling anime, apparently.
All right.
I'm looking at them in the pictures right now, and I'm like, I don't know if I like that. The new series is titled Yakuso Scooby-Doo, and it's officially bringing the mystery-solving dog to anime for the first time ever. According to Variety, franchise veteran Frank Welker and Matthew Lillard are returning once again as Scooby-Doo and Shaggy Rogers. Fans already know Lillard has become synonymous with Shaggy over the years, but only voicing the character in animation. Uh, Not only voicing the character in animation, but also playing him in the live action film Scooby-Doo and Scooby-Doo 2 Monsters Unleashed. The new adventure sends Scooby and Shaggy to Japan for what's supposed to be the ultimate foodie vacation, which this actually sounds very
Sounds
on
awesome.
track. Shaggy and Scooby going to Japan. Naturally, things spiral into supernatural insanity almost immediately. The series has landed at Tubi for its North American release, while Cartoon Network will handle international distribution. Animation duties are being handled by Japanese powerhouse OLM, the studio known for Pokemon and the Apothecary Diaries, along Warner Brothers Animation. Though the is this a Yokoso? Was that correct? Oh, it is Yokoso. Okay. Though the Yokoso Scooby-Doo release date remains a mystery.
All right. Okay. Anime. Thanks, Scooby.
I mean, anime is kind of getting its flowers. It's blowing up more and more and more, but it's just kind of like I don't know. Does it feel weird to have Scooby and Shaggy in anime now?
I think that's okay. I mean, look at the artwork, right? that's it looks awesome to me. It looks cool. Plus, getting Frank Welker back and then getting Matthew Lillard kind of, you know, covering different genres, different time spans of Scooby Doo. I think
Mhm.
that's kind of cool.
Scooby Doo, where are you?
I'm into this. Let's see what happens. And that's the one thing I like about Scooby Doo. It always finds ways to like reinvent itself.
Yeah, I'll give you that. It really is. You know what else is big on this is Tubi keeps getting these massive like shows and contracts for being like a free service. Like Tubi is doing
Exactly.
really well, man.
That's exactly. Keep in mind though, Tubi's owned by Fox,
Right.
which is owned by Disney. It's funny how they don't mention that more.
But this is also a Warner Brothers property, which makes it even
Yeah.
weirder.
I think maybe that's why they don't mention it as a Disney or Fox company or channel, so they can start getting stuff from other media companies.
Yeah. I think it just like makes it so that they're not kind of like stuck in a box, you know?
And also like finding ways to reinvent an IP like this for a new generation. I'm all for it.
Right.
That's cool.
I'm with it. Well, let's go ahead and move on. Should I do this?
Do it. This is yours.
Okay. Rick and Morty are about to jump into a new universe. It's the box office. I think we're gonna be in a movie. Grandpa, are we? We're in a movie. It's gonna be great. Okay. Is Jennifer going to be there? Okay. A new report from the Inch Snyder claims that a Rick and Morty movie is starting to come together after years of conversations and a bunch of false starts. Series director Jacob Hare has been in talks with Warner Brothers about developing a feature film set within a wildly unpredictable Adult Swim universe. Rick and Morty is about to launch its ninth season later this month, and Adult Swim already has the series locked in through at least season 12. Series co-creator Dan Harmon has talked openly about the possibility of a film before, and his idea for it actually sounds pretty refreshing. Rather than reinventing the series or turning it into some massive continuity shifting event, Harmon wants the movie to basically feel like the ultimate supersized episode.
I think
Uh,
I like that.
that's a good idea. And again, I like the idea of them just kind of like jumping through Adult Swim and being super meta about everything. I mean, that's just kind of like what they are to begin with.
Yeah, you know what I also like about this? It's a good jump in point for people to be like,
Yeah.
"Oh, I've watched Rick and Morty before. What are they doing now? Oh, they have a movie. Let me go check that out." And that may reinvigorate them to get back into the show, especially going 12 seasons. That's crazy. Did you also hear that they announced the spin-off show?
Did they? What is it about?
It's called President Curtis with
Oh, that's right.
with Keith David. Yeah.
That's right. Right. Keith David is getting his own show, and he's playing the president.
Yeah, it's supposed to be like all about conspiracy theories and stuff like that, but like, the president's involved and he's gonna like announce it or debunk it or figure it all out. But
Yeah. No, it's great, man. Especially like you like these conspiracy theory shows tend to work really well, especially because they're like super meta, just making fun of conspiracy theories. So it's like it's great doing all that kind of stuff. So until Warner Brothers or Adult Swim officially confirms the project, fans should probably keep expectations in check. Mainly because I really don't know if we can do a movie. That's a really long time.
how do you feel about the movie versus I don't know. Like
I think it would be great. I would love to see Rick and Morty on a big screen, man.
right.
And
Yeah, exactly. Because they have done movies, like they've done anime-ish type movies.
right, they did a whole season of anime. It was
Yeah.
great, man. What I want to see is how many because if it's a movie, they're gonna take it even further, right? Because it's like, okay, cool. We're in a movie. There's gonna be like straight up like dicks on screen and like just they're gonna get away with a lot of weird shit.
Give fans what they want, right? Okay.
But no, what I want to know is how many parents are going to learn what Rick and Morty is for their first time taking their kids to go see this.
Oh my gosh. I don't
right?
I don't think any parent is gonna take their kid to see this.
But that's the thing is that sometimes parents can be very ignorant to like what their kids are watching.
That is true.
So it's like, oh, my kids like this Rick and Morty show. I don't know anything about it, but I know my kids really like it. And all they see is the merch, but they've never seen the show and they don't know anything about it. Right. So like how many parents are gonna be like, all right, my kid wants to go see this movie, I'll take him to go see it. What the fuck are you watching?
You're watching this on my account?
Like, how many parents are gonna walk out of this theater pissed off?
Oh yeah.
You're never watching this show again.
I
The
feel like
problem
that's
is, is it's too late at that point. If a kid has been watching Rick and Morty for fucking 7, 9 seasons at this point,
right.
you've already lost the war. And telling them you can't watch it anymore. Well, you can't take back the 9 seasons of bullshit that they've already watched. So
Exactly. And honestly, I'm a culprit too of like, I don't know what my kids are watching sometimes. Like we went and saw Mandalorian and Grogu, and there was an ad for like the final season of that, what is it? Amazing Digital Circus.
oh yeah.
And my son was just like, "Oh, look, Amazing Digital Circus." I'm like, "You know what that is?" And he's like, "Oh yeah, I've watched the whole thing." I'm like, "When did you watch this?" He's like, "Oh yeah, I just watch it." I'm like, I'm a good dad. That's fine.
Yeah. And I mean, we know what that show's about
Yeah,
because
and I'm
we
like,
literally did
I
an
met the
interview
voice
on it.
actors. I met the voice actors, and he's like, "What?" I'm like, "All right, cool."
It's like, yeah, Philippe interviewed the entire cast on stage.
Yeah, like it's cool. It's cool. It's
And
cool.
he debuted a new episode
Yeah.
during the interview. Oh man. Yeah, okay. So let's let's continue it on and I get to do another voice. So this is going to be great.
All right, let's do it.
All right. Stay out of the marketing, you boob.
Oppenheimer.
Oh man, shout outs to Oppenheimer. That guy, classic character. The Masters of the Universe film is almost here, but according to a new report, Jared Leto, who plays the villainous Skeletor, wasn't thrilled with the film, which could explain his lack of promotion of the movie. But could that also be because of the controversy surrounding the actor?
Mhm.
Leto has been accused of inappropriate behavior by many women and co-stars in the recent past, and he has also been linked to several flops in the box office, including Tron Ares and It's Morbin Time.
And you loved both.
I absolutely loved both of those movies. Did not hated both of them. The movie has been hailed as nonstop fun, an epic good time, and even one of the biggest surprises of 2026. So go check it out for yourself. Keeping Jared Leto out of the marketing. Is that a good move? What do you guys think? Masters of the Universe has the power in theaters on June 5th. That's like next week.
That's crazy that it's next week already.
Yeah.
Honestly, as much like promotion I've seen for this film, I don't really care that it's Jared Leto or a lack of Jared Leto in like the marketing push. What's his name? Galistini or something like that.
Nicholas Galazzini.
Yeah, he's been great,
Did
Idris
you
Elba.
see
Great.
did you see the Superman meme or the Spider-Man meme?
No.
Okay, so they did it was Nicholas Galazzini. Oh, why am I forgetting his name? Who played the original He-Man?
Dolph Lundgren?
Dolph Lundgren. So it's Nicholas Galazzini walking into a room, Dolph Lundgren standing there. They look at each other, and then they both look to the side, and there's a statue of He-Man, and they're all pointing at each other.
That's cool. I like it.
Right. And then it cuts to Master of the Universe June 5th. And I was like, oh my God, that is amazing marketing. Like you have Nicholas Galazzini, who's playing the current He-Man. You have Dolph Lundgren, who played the original He-Man in the live action. And then you have a statue of Prince Adam from the cartoons. Oh, and then the end, where they're all pointing at each other, and then they superimpose He-Man singing, yeah.
I said, hey.
I said, hey, what's going on? It's so good, man. It's such a good little like tease, like marketing tease.
I
Uh,
I like that they're embracing the cheesiness of it, but
yeah,
also like leaning into the all right, so this is who we are, but we're also gonna be like have a ton of action. It's gonna be super fun, high energy. Like, let's go have fun with this. I like that.
yeah.
Just like Street Fighter. Street Fighter's like, we're gonna kind of make fun of ourselves, but we're gonna make it action packed.
I,
I
I
like
think
that.
I think it's because we have a generation of directors that understand that the fans don't want a grounded retelling of the story. No, we want what made us fall in love with these stories.
Mhm.
I want Street Fighter to be weird and over the top and have these crazy fights and have this story that is just, you know, again, over the top, you know. I want He-Man to be, bigger than life. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? The only thing is that they did confirm, and I'm hoping it's a swerve, but they did confirm that that Orko's not going to be in the movie.
Save it for the second movie. I'm okay with that.
And I think that's what they were saying was that okay, they had to make sacrifices with certain things, and they decided to leave Orko out. But if this movie does well, or when this movie does well, Orko is going to show up in the second film.
There you go. He'll be like the baby Grogu of the He-Man Masters of the
Yeah.
universe.
Which
Universe.
again, I'm okay with that. I mean, I kind of I was hoping that we were going to get that, or maybe in a post credit scene, maybe we get Orko. But
Mhm.
like, because I did that somewhat disappoints me because I love Orko as a character. Now it's funny that he's saying that he's not in the marketing or anything like that.
Uh-huh.
Oh yeah. Travis in the chat saying the creators grew up playing the games and watching the shows as kids. Exactly. Um Jared Leto, it's funny that Jared Leto is saying that he is not going to be a part of the marketing and all that, but they're plastering Skeletor on everything.
True, but it's also not his face. They're not promoting Jared Leto is in this movie. They're promoting that it's He-Man versus Skeletor, and Skeletor looks super cool, but everything else that's Jared Leto doesn't matter.
I think that might be what upsets him is
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
it's because if they went kind of like what I've said in the past, if they go the direction as a fan that I want to see Skeletor. I don't want to see Jared Leto. I don't give a shit about Jared Leto. I will only allow one scene in this entire movie with Jared Leto's face, and that's a Keldor reveal. That's all I care about, right? I do not want to see his face. I want to see Skeletor the hands down that's what I want to see. And supposedly, yeah, I can see Jared Leto because he has a really big ego being upset that oh well it's a skull and it's a skull face and not me. Yeah, but it's your performance. So stop being a bitch.
You made Morbius, so don't forget that.
Yeah, dude.
Fall in line. Fall in line.
Yeah, like you literally made Michael Morbius into
Yeah.
one of the things that people hate the most about Marvel. Um, like people hate the comic books. That's how bad of a performance your Michael Morbius was.
So
Uh,
I will say this: whether Jared Leto is part of this movie or not part of this movie, as Skeletor or not Skeletor, I'm still gonna go see the movie. He
oh,
doesn't
I'm just saying.
sway my dollars anyway. That he's in the movie. Like it's such a non-factor to me, but it's very diva of him to be like, oh, I'm gonna sit out of the marketing.
Yeah. Meh. Until we meet again. So
Until Morbius 2.
until they make Morbius 2, you boobs. Absolutely terrible. Mattel has the power. Yeah. Travis Knight's upcoming Masters of the Universe film is gearing up to bring He-Man back to theaters. Mattel is already expanding Eternia in other directions with a brand new animated reboot officially arriving next month. Mattel is rolling out a new Masters of the Universe animated reboot on YouTube this summer as part of what the company describes as a multi-year Motu roadmap. Mattel still hasn't officially announced the project, but director Matthew Brown's LinkedIn profile reportedly refers to the project as Masters of the Universe Tales from Eternia.
Huh.
I know. I'm hoping this is just a full on tie-in into the movies. The listing also mentions a 20 episode run, which lines up with previous rumors suggesting the reboot could be structured as a series of animated shorts.
Oh, like okay, like maybe
Which
digging into the different characters, kind of thing.
yeah. Masters of the Universe Tales from Eternia is set to take over exclusively on Mattel's YouTube channel June 10th. So 5 days after the movie is released.
That's nuts. Okay, okay, He-Man.
And I bet you 100%, just as He-Man was created for, it is just a way for them to sell toys.
Oh yeah, that's definitely it. But this confuses me. So does that mean we're done with Masters of the Universe Revelation? Revelation, is that what it is?
I think it is. I think they are moving on from it. That kind of bothers me because there's still more story to be told within that kind of series of shows,
Yeah.
especially because that series of shows is attached to the original. It's not something that is just, oh, here's a new show and it's something that is something completely different. Like it is attached to the original show. It takes place immediately after the
Yeah,
events of
it's a
the
continuation. Yeah.
right of the series finale. So I mean, I do want to see another season, mainly because they ended on a cliffhanger with Hordak and Technodrome. Like I want to see more of that.
You better talk to Kevin Smith.
I'm sure Kevin Smith already has it written. He's just waiting on Netflix to say, okay, we're ready.
Yeah. Or Mattel. Mattel's like, wait a second. Maybe we do our own thing.
Yeah.
Which would kind of suck because I enjoy stuff like that where it's like, hey, let's adult up a show or IP that you loved as a kid.
Right.
I think they cracked the code with Masters of the Universe Revelation of how to bring an IP from like a childhood up to 2026.
I tried. Sorry, I didn't realize I still had the other poll up. So I was asking everybody if they were ready for the next Demon Slayer film. 75% said yes. So next, I'm going to ask: will you be seeing Mo2 opening weekend? Because I am.
Heck yeah. So wait, who?
So I think, yeah,
So
I'll find it.
Scooby-Doo is going to be on Tubi, and then the new Masters of the Universe show is going to be on
YouTube.
YouTube. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, I'm probably going to go through and watch them just so that way I can go to see all that.
Yeah.
So yes, ladies and gentlemen, let's get to this last story, but I think we're also going to give a review of, because both James and I have both seen the subject of the next story here. And I did write a review, so I think I'm just going to read out my review for you guys here too. So let's move on to this last story here. Very exciting. Favreau knows this is the way. Disney and Lucasfilm finally brought The Mandalorian and Grogu to theaters, and while the movie didn't explode the box office, it still delivered a solid global launch with 163 million worldwide and 100 million 4-day domestic opening over Memorial Day weekend. That puts the film slightly behind Solo, Star Wars film story domestically, which opened to 103 million over 4 days back in 2018. The Mandalorian and Grogu earned a A- cinema score along with a 71% definite recommend score on Post Track. The movie cost around 165 million net, and the merchandising machine attached to Grogu remains gigantic.
So
Grogu
wait,
toys,
hold on. So
yeah,
163 million worldwide over 4 days, and it cost 165 to make. So it made back its budget in 4 days.
165 net. So that's also including marketing.
So more than that. That's crazy.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah.
Good for them.
Yeah, right. Grogu toys alone reportedly sold over 13 million units during the first 2 years of the Mandalorian series. Star Wars Starfighter from Sean Levy, starring Ryan Gosling, which is set to hit theaters in May 28th, 2027. So that's coming soon. And then after 7 years, question for you guys here: did Star Wars' first box office film stay on target? Looks
I
like
guess we can jump into a review.
yeah, DeLong Fam Cosplay just shot us a super chat here, so give me a second.
Shout out to the Long Fam Cosplay, making it happen. I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, go
Oh,
support
there.
the Long Fam Cosplay. So Darren in the chat. Who else is there? Eric in the chat. Who else did I see? Easy Money. Go to at the Long Fam Cosplay on YouTube. Give him a follow.
Yeah, please, guys, give them a follow, especially if you're into watching any kind of maker stuff, or if you're just interested in seeing how like cosplays are made and stuff like that. They're the channel to go check out, guys. So make sure you're heading over there. So I do have a review for you guys here. I did write a full review on this. So honestly, let's separate the bluster from the slog surrounding what people are saying about Star Wars, The Mandalorian, and Grogu, because there is a lot of that, right? We're going to start with the obvious about the overall story. It's essentially a full season of The Mandalorian condensed into a film. Some of the plot lines could have benefited from having a little bit more room to breathe, but overall, still manages to tell a cohesive story. One of the film's biggest strengths is showing that Din's investigative skills are some of the best in the galaxy. There are a lot of kind of starting from nothing and getting things, and not just stumbling into things, but investigating things in a way where it feels like he is almost like Batman, you know? Jeremy Allen White does get a little lost in the role at times, but it never feels phoned in like some people have been claiming online. You see a lot of the reviews online, and people are saying like he phoned in the performance, and it doesn't feel like he's giving a lot of heart to it. I didn't get that at all. His performance comes across as contemplative and yearning for purpose, especially in wanting to separate himself from the legacy of his father. You know, the character. Spoilers if you don't know who Rada the Hutt is, you should already know who his father is just in his name,
Mm-hmm.
right? But part of the reason some of the audiences are not connecting with the performance is because he's known for very grounded, emotionally raw acting, right? And some people were like, he's not giving that in this film. This performance is not far removed from his style. He's kind of just channeling more of his emotions through what a Hut is supposed to be, right? So, if anything, he understands the character on a deeper level than, because you don't want a character that is super emotional in the way that he is portraying the character. Not with Huts, because Huts aren't very emotional characters. If Rada were overly emotional, it would take away from the feeling of the character's place within the universe itself. I feel like Jeremy Allen White found a balance between emotional stakes, Hut resolve, and dulled emotions. That says more about his understanding of the race and the character than anything else in the film. I got to give the flowers 100% to Lateef Crowder in this. One, I believe this is the first time I've ever seen two action actors top billed in a movie.
Yeah, that was really cool.
Right?
Brendan Wayne.
Brendan Wayne and Lateef Crowder, who are the action actors who play uh, um, Din Djarin, it was big. And Lateef Crowder does all the stunt work. These fight scenes are some of the best I've ever seen in Star Wars. Lateef Crowder absolutely shines in this film. The fight scenes are some of the best Star Wars ever overall. If there's one thing that deserves overwhelming praise, it's the stunt work throughout this film. The action sequences are consistently visually stunning. So again, for anybody who's complaining about anything, the fight scenes or anything it's like the last thing you can complain about. Another aspect that really shines after a halfway point is the bonding between Din and Grogu. While it still feels somewhat rushed, and for the same reasons I mentioned earlier, mainly that certain storylines needed more time to breathe. The film does a great job of showing the father-son dynamic you would expect between them at this stage in their journey. Overall, I'm going to give this 7.5 Anzellans out of 10 wrecked battle droids. It has a lot of high points. Even if it does feel too condensed and rushed at times, just for all of you, so you all know where we stand on this, this is still the way.
I like it. That's good. That's a good way to put everything. Yeah, I enjoy the film. So I've talked to a few different people that have seen the movie. So I've talked to Star Wars fans, like diehard Star Wars fans that we've gone to celebrations together, and they have thoughts about the movie
Yeah.
and what it gave based on what we traditionally think a Star Wars film is, what we know the Mandalorian to be, you know,
Mhm.
from as the TV show, and seeing it come together. And for a lot of them, it didn't quite land, but and I think this is key. I went and saw this with my family, and we walked out of the film. I was like, "Hey, family, what did you think of the film? Did you like it?" You know, and my wife was like, "I loved it.
Mhm.
No notes. I thought it was so much fun. I loved it." And I think that is key. That's what
Yeah.
Disney, that's what Lucasfilm wants, is that average fan that's like, "Ooh, I'm interested. I love Star Wars. I love Grogu. I don't follow everything, but I'm going to go check this out." And it's action packed, it's fun, it's not too hard to follow, not too kind of like what Marvel had to do was like, "Hey, we got to weed through all this other stories and tie-ins. How do we get it all to make sense for one cohesive piece that everybody can experience together?" I think Mandalorian and Grogu landed that. They nailed it, that anybody can walk into this, and as long as you have some kind of concept of what the Mandalorian and Grogu is, you could watch this film. And there's some tie-ins to the original trilogy to like keep it going, and it's good. And it's just enough for everybody to like get a taste, to whet their palate,
Right.
along with a bunch of action
Yeah.
on top of that. So I think it was great. I loved it. I had a great time watching it. Yeah, there were a few things like, you know what I compared it to? I compared it to when you first see like a Transformers Michael Bay movie in the
Yeah.
theater, and it's like big action, all these robots, slow motion. It's really cool action. And then you're like, okay, so why are they gonna do this now? Like, how do they go from here to here? What's the next plot point? And before you even get a chance to finish asking that question, there's another huge battle scene that happens, and you get sucked into that. Mandalorian and Grogu's the same way. It's
Yeah.
like, hey, look at all this, actiony, shiny cuteness going on over here. Don't worry about how fast paced things are going and like how little amount of exposition that there are. It doesn't matter. Just be along for the ride. And I was totally along for the ride.
Yeah. No, and again, like I mentioned before, I feel like the only kind of like real downside to the film itself is that it is an entire season of The Mandalorian condensed into a movie. And I think that's kind of where it like the one failure, if I'm gonna give it a negative critique, the one failure is that they did try to condense, 10 episodes of The Mandalorian into an hour and a half of a film. But the thing is and it kind of does feel that way when you go through the kind of get through different parts of the movie. And I mean, Favreau straight up said, like, that's what we did. We took an entire 10 episodes and condensed it into a film. We took all the plot points that we could. So I mean, again, it just didn't have a lot of time to breathe. It felt like they were just kind of rushing through certain things. Um, I don't blame them for that. I blame Disney for saying we don't want to put this on it out as a TV show because we think it should be a movie. But I
Well,
mean,
I
in
felt
the
it
end,
was almost a challenge. Like Disney's like, we need to put Star Wars back in the theaters. Mandalorian Grogu's the best piece of Star Wars we have right now. Make a film. That's the challenge. And I think they pulled that off.
no, the thing is I do feel like they pulled it off well, but at the same time, I feel like it was one of those things that it's again, it's Disney executives missing the mark and not understanding, kind of how things work. They're like, oh, hey, this is popular, so that means if we make it a movie, everybody's gonna go see it. And it's like that's not how this works.
Hmm.
So like the thing that upsets me again is this them missing the mark because it's Disney expecting that you can, it's almost like talking down to to your fan base because you think that, hey, if we make this into a movie, people are gonna go see it regardless. And it's like that's probably not the way you should go about it.
Right. But I think they geared it to a a general audience, and I think it worked. Like, as much as we can kind of complain that it wasn't exactly how the format of Mandalorian on Disney Plus is, like a 8-hour episodic show, I think it still worked.
No, I'm not saying, like I said, this is just what one or one critique that I'm going to give it, and it's again, it's mostly because it does at times feel rushed, and the reason it feels rushed is because they did take plot points from a TV show, condense it down. They took something that was meant to be 10 hours and turned it into an hour and a half,
Mhm.
and that's why it feels rushed. But the thing is that that small little quibble, that little bit of pacing that kind of feels a little off, doesn't overall take away from how good the film is.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. And I think they did a good job of sifting through it and be like, let's distill this down so it doesn't get convoluted with other plot points, other storylines, Ahsoka, uh, Grand Admiral Thrawn, whatever it may be. It was just enough. It's like you can just come in and enjoy the film without having a ton of backstory involved, which I dug. Though the one thing I will say is that I think it could have used a little bit more like surprises. Like, I love the action, storyline was great, Grogu was great. Having it just about them was kind of nice. Like, there wasn't a lot of extra stuff, but I think I would, even having Zeb in it, I would have wanted a little bit more Zeb.
Got it. No, and I see that. The one big thing that I think a lot of fans did enjoy about this too, for all the deep cut, um, for all the deep cut nerds
Hmm.
out there. So Embo, who is an assassin that has showed up in some of the cartoons and different series and different
Hmm.
things like that. He was really big in the Clone Wars. The like just look up that character, go watch the movie, get excited because I'm not gonna explain who he is, mainly because I feel like I'm getting too far into spoiler territory.
But just like Cad Bane being in Book of Boba Fett,
And Book of Boba Fett, yeah.
they made what is his name? Embo?
Embo, yeah.
Embo, they made him a badass.
Yeah, oh
Which is
god, Embo is so cool in this.
yeah.
Again, very, very Ronin assassin kind of
Yes.
vibes coming from him.
The way he fought was awesome.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed his fighting style, and he went toe to toe with Mando. And as much as they hyped Mando's fighting skills up in this entire movie, which was actually really cool. Shout out to Lateef Crowder,
Yeah.
but they made Embo look just as good.
Yeah, and I mean the whole things with with Din being nerfed in this movie, none of it like there's reasoning for the nerfing. Like it wasn't just he got nerfed because they had to nerf him for a scene. It's like, oh, something happens where he doesn't have something or he doesn't have this, so he has to kind of think on his feet. He has to kind of like, okay, he has to problem solve a lot, which kind of just makes him even more of a badass. And this just
Mhm.
kind of solidifies how fucking dope of a character Din Djarin is.
Yeah, I agree. So, real quick, Darren in the chat is mentioning Sigourney Weaver. What did you think about Sigourney Weaver jumping into the Star Wars universe?
I liked her role.
Mhm.
Again, not gonna try and I'm trying not to spoil things, but just her character was surprising for me because I thought that they were kind of making it seem like she was going one way, and she turned out not to be the character I thought she was going to end up being.
Mm.
She ended up being a more the more purified version of that character, but they kind of like the way she delivered some of the lines and the way that she kind of went about things kind of seemed like she may have been corrupt.
Oh, I get what you're saying.
You know what I mean? And it just turned again. I don't want to go too much into it, but I mean, like she turned out to be a very redeeming character in who she was, and I enjoyed that about her character.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. You know, it's interesting though. Like as I was watching it, and like, okay, we're getting introduced to this new person of the New Republic. I'm like, this could have easily been Hera Syndulla in this
Yep.
role.
It easily could have been Harrison Dula. Like we almost did not need a new character there, and I wonder if they had originally written it as Harrison Dula, and we're
Mhm.
like, "Hey, we've got Sigourney Weaver, so let's write a new character."
Yeah, exactly. Which I'm kind of okay with, though. I would like to see Hera Syndulla back. You know, but I guess we'll probably see her in Ahsoka season 2. But if we get more Sigourney Weaver in Star Wars, I'm okay with that.
Yeah, crap ton of Easter eggs. So if you are blinking during certain scenes, you're gonna miss things. Um, a lot of fan favorite characters from Mandalorian come back. So just keep that in mind. Of course, James's favorite character in all of Star Wars is in this movie.
Wicket W. Warwick, who?
No, the town of Navarro.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
It's looking good too. We're
It
coming up.
does. It is looking very good. So I mean, you do get to see what Navarro looks like now, which is kind of cool. So, anyways, let's end it at that. Unless you have any more comments, Jonas.
No, I would just say that I enjoyed it, and I was telling
Mhm.
another Star Wars fan who was talking to right before the show was I'm like, would I go see this again? The answer is yes.
Mhm.
Whether it's with my family or with other Star Wars fans and just enjoy the film, I would totally see this again.
Yeah, I 100% would recommend going to go see this film if you haven't already. If you have seen it, go see it again. I saw it in D box.
Uh huh.
So my chair was like moving the entire time, and I was like, "This is kind of dope, actually."
I saw it in IMAX, and I'm like, this is pretty awesome to
Yeah,
watch this big. My son was looking at it. He's like, is this screen bigger than a normal screen? I'm like, yes,
yes,
it is. Enjoy it. We paid extra money. I get more
that's
pop.
right.
So, real quick, I will give this. I mean, yes, I there was a couple things that I could talk about. I think you mentioned most of them, but I would give this, and I had fun with it. I would give it 8 blue cookies out of 10 Mandalorian helmets.
We'll go with that. All right.
With that.
Well, with that being
Oh
said,
wait,
ladies and
hold on. There's one Easter egg. Did you catch the battle arena scene?
yes, I did. I did. I thought that was so cool.
Okay.
Um, it took me a minute to realize that that's what was going on.
Yeah.
It was it was the body slam that made me realize, wait, is
Ah,
that? I was like, is that? Holy shit! And then I started looking at all the characters. I'm like, oh my god, it is.
that was cool. I thought that was really cool.
Yeah. Again, that excitement alone should get you guys to go and go watch the movie, just
Mhm.
because between that and the stop motion scenes at the end of the movie, they were so seamless.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like
I thought
just
that was really cool.
oh my god. Like and again, I think that they did that specifically so they could do a stop motion scene.
Mhm.
But it's so well done. It is again, it feels seamless. It doesn't feel like it's obviously stop motion, but it doesn't feel like 80s stop motion. It's really good.
It was impressive. Impressive. Both of
Yeah.
those scenes were super impressive. I almost
Yeah.
want to give it more. 8.5. 8.5 blue cookies out of 10 Mandalorian helmets.
There we go. All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that is it for this segment. We got into this impromptu review. It's been a while since we've done a review, so I
Yeah.
mean, I kind of feel like is a fun thing for us to do. But with that being said, let's talk about the schedule because, ladies and gentlemen, we got a schedule up here. Tuesdays, Distance Nerding, the show you're watching right now, 6:30 to 8:30. We are finishing slightly early tonight. Thursdays, the Distance Nerding interviews. Now this week, we had to reschedule because of a scheduling conflict earlier. But now we're going to be talking with. I just had his name on the front of my screen, and there we go.
Justin Coke.
Justin Koch. There we go. So Justin Koch is going to be our the person we're interviewing this week. He's got a comic book called SWAT.
Mhm.
It is absolutely fun. It's I think it's Secret Wizard Assault Team,
That's
right? Yeah, and they're like they're like a wizard, like SWAT team. It's fucking great. So yeah, guys, definitely hop in the chat on from 6 to 8 on Thursday. We'll be talking with Justin about his book and everything like that. It's going to be great. I love talking with these indie creators because they always come up with like fun stuff like this. And then of course Friday the buzzer. Now again this week we're not going to be doing the buzzer because we'll be driving to Idaho for another show. Idaho. We're going to be driving to Oregon for another show. We're going to be in Bend, Oregon at Beaver State Comic Con. So guys, if you are in the Oregon area, make your way over to Bend and hang out with us at Beaver State. It's going to be a great time. We're going to be talking with James Pax. We're going to be talking with Carla Perez and so many more. Sorry, I'm pulling it up right now.
I was gonna say that I'm not going to the show, but I wish I was because my kids would go crazy for it because it's like a Sanrio mini con because
Yeah,
they got voice actors.
I was just gonna bring her up right now. So Musetta Vandar is going to be there, who played Queen Sindel in Mortal Kombat. But I'm actually kind of excited for this. Talking to Jenny Yakabori. Jenny Yakabori played Karomi. She plays was it what's her
Cinnamon.
name? Cinnamon Roll, right? So I mean, like, two Sanrio characters. She plays a couple of different characters within other like anime and different things like that. I want to say she's a Simpsons character too. So yeah, I mean, Megan Shipman's going to be there. We're going to be talking to John Morton, who was in Empire Strikes Back. He was the tail gunner in Luke's snowspeeder. So I mean, yeah, it's going to be Dak Walter. It's going to be a lot of fun, guys. Make your way over to Beaver State Comic Con if you can make it up to Oregon. If not, then hey, you're going to be missing out on a good time, guys. Yes, Colossus Girl Entertainment, DT. So it's going to be a great time. Come and hang out with us in Oregon this coming weekend. So moving on from that, Jamez, do you have anything that you want to plug outside of distance nerding?
Nothing right now. Yeah, everything. So actually, while we're talking about, so since you're watching on YouTube, if you're listening to this later on the podcast, the audio version, make sure you follow us on YouTube because between Philippe and me and Frank from Geek Freaks, we are pumping out content. Most of it's going to YouTube, so make sure you follow us on YouTube at Distance Nerding. There's tons of videos, tons of shorts, tons stuff from the cons is coming out nonstop. Polls and supercut videos are coming out practically every other day now.
No, every day. So I have a supercut video from, because I still have stuff coming out from the last two cons as well as Gem State. So guys, I've got a video coming out every day this week. You want to find out what's in it? Follow us. Subscribe if you're not already subscribed. YouTube, Instagram, all the different places and everything like that.
And here's a quick note. So come find us at the cons and be part of the videos.
Yeah.
Because what Philippe's doing is doing a supercut. We're going to ask the same, I don't know, like 10 questions to people, and then we'll supercut them into 10 YouTube and shorts and Instagram reels. So they're super fun. We get, cosplayers, con attendees, the actors, the actresses, the voice actors, everybody that comes to the con. We get a little bit of everybody. And the vendors, we get a little bit of everybody involved. It's fun.
That's right. Yeah. So if you guys are going to see us, make your way to us and we'll record you and we'll get you on one of the videos. It's going to be fun. So guys, we will catch everybody this weekend at Gem State Comic Con. Beaver State Comic Con. We just got out of Gem State Comic Con. Sorry. I'm still in Gem State mode as it is. So yes, we will catch everybody there. Again, all the social media places. If it is social media, we are there. If it exists, we are on it at Distance Nerding. Or of course, you can send us an email. We will read it live on air on the show. distancenerding@aol.com. Or if you're watching the show live, like some of the people in the chat have done tonight, hey, super chat us. If you super chat during the show, we will read that during the show as well. So keep that in mind for everything.
Shout out.
Yeah, shout out to Darren. Shout out to DeLong Fam Cosplay. They dropped the super chat earlier as well. Shout out to Easy Money. He was dropping a whole bunch of them last week. Yeah, just shout out to all the super chats out there. So go ahead, man.
Oh, my bad. Thanks, and keep nerding together.
That's right, Bruce.
Go to sleep.
Bud.
Go to sleep. Deuces.
Deuces. See you everybody later. But have a good night. Woo.
Distance nerding.